Mr. had his mindset ready for whatever grind next. My mindset working with the time left, hard working, dedicated. Would like to dedicate this to those who never hate it. Can't nothing hold us down. Can always go another round. Welcome to the underground. Real sports with real sports.
Welcome to our pre-Final Four edition of One Mic. Please check us out again on realsportsguys.com. We're also coming down the stretch with our March Madness Challenge. Some things are beginning to happen and change, both on the women's tournament side. And my sister might mess around and get 3 belts. I can't hear that. And I'm at her house right now. I'm not going to be able to lay that one down if she wins it. I mean, 3 belts, she might as well just create her own little room in her house for the championship belts. So if she gets 3 belts, I'm like, that's it. She already talking junk about the other belts she got. So we'll have to deal with that on another day. But it's Final Four weekend. There's nothing like it. You know, I remember when I went to the Final Four in Minneapolis with, I think it was like 92 when the Fab Five was in it, with it, this the energy around the Final Four with that group. And there's a lot of energy around this one. You know, they're going to be in Indianapolis. You know, you have the open practices, you know, that usually happen. A lot of energy fans are there. I remember in that one they had a brother. He's actually from Detroit, was on Oklahoma, putting out a dunk clinic during the thing. So there's just a lot of energy. People are building up. You know, it's almost like when you saw these teams at their press conference after get to the Elite Eight, you kind of breathe because you at least made it to the Final Four. So before we kick it off, let's kind of reflect on how we got here. And you know, Coach, when you're looking at the Elite Eight and some of those matchups, you know, we kind of finishing with these guys. What was it about the Elite Eight when you watched those games that really impressed you about the teams and how they competed and you know how we got to here? But just looking at when you watching the Elite Eight, what really stood out to you?
Well, I'm going to steal my brother Hammer's comment that he made a long time ago. The Elite Eight was actually elite. You know, it was exciting to get ready to watch those games because you just knew that they were going to be good games. And even, you know, Arizona and Michigan didn't turn out to be, you know, it eventually turned out to be blows, as it were. It were still good games. I mean, they still had to play. You got to see how good they really were and how good they really are in terms of the games. And so the games were great. You know, Illinois and Iowa, that was a shock to the system anyway, to see that happen. But to see the way that game played out and how Illinois came on and showed who they were and they're getting better. So that's the biggest thing to me, was that the Elite Eight was actually elite. It was exciting to watch those games, and it was all I could do to get ready and prepared to watch them.
Hammer, your thoughts on that? You about the Elite Eight games, and also, you know, being in Illinois, you know, Illinois person, with Illinois kind of making their run and here late.
Well, D-Will's not the love. I mean, growing up in Chicago, there was none but love for the Kendall Gills, Kenny Battle, Lowell Hamilton, that group. But yeah, I mean, it's great to see what Coach Underwood's done with this team. Put together international players have been great. Wagler kids really came out of nowhere and become a lottery pick. And then Stojakovic's kid, really 6-man of the year as far as, you know, off the bench. So really well, you know, coach team. And you know, Iowa also with Bennett Sturtz and coach really, again, they have a good team, but they just didn't have enough in that game against Illinois. They knew each other. They played twice before. And, you know, the Michigan game was a debacle. But, yeah, I mean, Tennessee hung in there for about 5 minutes and they got ran at the gym. But, you know, again, Tennessee, they had great 3 straight Elite Eights for Tennessee. Michigan's just, especially the Luxembourg kid, just phenomenal transfers, phenomenal. This is game. This is fluidity, his size, shooting, passing. He's going to be a special player. I think the next level really translates to the next level. Obviously, UConn Duke game was a classic. I'm still stunned by. I was going to the Bucks game that night and didn't see the part of the game. I had to listen to it in the car and hear that comeback was unbelievable. But yeah, but again, it shows where Hurley's just the best in the business right now, especially this team, kind of a team that was really up and down. So you got a team that lost to Marquette a month ago, and now all of a sudden they're in the Final Four. So great thing. And yeah, so and then that's what you have. You have, as Coach said, creme de la creme as far as talent goes. The matchups weren't as competitive as you like, but again, you saw the four teams that are in the Final Four. They show why they deserve to be there, and Indy's going to be a special place. I went to the final game during COVID. Was it 5 years ago? That was surreal because no one was there but me, people. And I saw Troy Wingo cheering for his Baylor Bears. Yeah, so that's. But shout out to my guy Derek Mosley and Jonathan Smith who go to the Final Four every year and are in Indy right now enjoying the festivities. But the bottom line is that elite is going to be great. You got 2-1s, 2 and 3 elite talent from the best conference, the Big Ten, and it's going to be a special thing seeing some of our future stars. I think play out in some of our best coaches. From Tommy Lloyd, especially Tommy Lloyd signed today is huge. There's no uncertainty now of him going to North Carolina. He's staying at Arizona, where he belongs, and that specter is not over that game, which is going to be a phenomenal game. Really, some people think is the true national championship game, the Arizona Michigan game. So,
yeah, the UConn game was interesting. So I'm going to the airport, and UConn's up by like maybe 16, 17, maybe up close to 19 at this point. So I'm trying to get
Duke.
through.
You mean Duke.
I mean Duke.
Yeah.
UConn over Duke. Yeah, but Duke is up obviously by a lot. So I'm going through TSA. I'm like, this thing basically over. Flight's delayed, and we get on the plane, and it's delayed for a little bit. So before I get on the plane, I look down, and the score is like now 8 points. I'm thinking, what is going on? So I'm trying to watch it, but then they're like getting us to get on the plane. So I'm getting on early. So I got to turn the phone off. I get on, sit down. Now the game is like at 3 points, and I'm thinking. So I'm sitting here trying to watch this game, and it would prolong at the gate. And I'm thinking, for the first time in my life, I'm okay with being prolonged at the gate. We're not pulling away. And when he hit that game-winning shot, I'm sitting in there, and I'm like, I hear someone say something in the back, and then I'm like, oh, and like people looking at me around it. And I just couldn't believe it. I said, and I didn't know if it was Cam who threw it away. I knew it was a boozer, but I couldn't quite see because I'm looking on my phone, and I didn't know it was his brother that threw it. Yeah, and so I'm thinking like this kid had made a mistake all year. It feels like he make all the right plays. I know he didn't throw the ball away, and I couldn't really tell, but I knew it was over. I said, this boy Danny Hurley, boy, he got 9 lives. He got clovers in his socks. He got all kind of stuff. We saw him at Maui, about 2 years ago?
3 years ago.
Complaining, everything else coming out,
Ryan.
struggling. Yeah, and I'm like, he's been battling back to try to regain everything, and he gets this. He's going to Final Four. So I think we got some interesting matchups. Last time UConn saw Illinois, they ran him out the gym, but this is a different kind of Illinois team, a different UConn team. And like you said, we got these juggernauts in Arizona and Michigan who have just been on course. The one thing I would say about people, these teams that keep saying stuff about Michigan before they play them, like Tennessee and some of these other teams, only to show up and take it on the chin, and then have to get the other side of Yaxel. Y'all need to settle down, leave these boys alone. Quit talking before you see them. Like, I think they talk, and they get on the court, and they realize, oh, these guys are bigger than we think. And that stuff just starts to go downhill. It's like, y'all think y'all got something, even for the game. What was it? My guy, former Auburn coach was like, you're not going to be able to punk them.
Oh, Bruce Pearl, yeah.
Bruce Pearl was like, see you on this SEC stuff again, man. And then the stuff happened. So one thing I learned about is don't say anything about them before you play them. That's one thing you need to say. So I'm sure there's been a lot of respect between Arizona and Michigan. I think it's going to be a heavyweight fight. But I think both these games are going to be good. When you think about it, Carl, you start to size up kind of the Arizona and Michigan matchup. What are some things you're going to be looking for?
I mean, size on size. That's one thing. Michigan's a big team. Mara, Luxembourg. Again, Arizona's a big team. So Pete and others. So It's going to be elite size. And one thing that, Arizona, their kind of weakness is that they're not the best 3-point shooting team or volume as well as success. They really, they got Jaden Bradley, just one of the guttiest point guards in the country, really runs the point well. That Burridge kid is a baller. But yeah, I think really the size is going to be key. But I think, again, I think Michigan's got the more to win this. But it's going to be a heavyweight battle, like you said. You got size and size. You got, granted, the thing that will separate Michigan from Arizona is the 3-point shot, the volume as well as success. I think that's the only really weakness that Arizona had as far as being not the volume 3-point shooting team that normally you'll see at this level. But again, they're elite team as far as offensive game. So, except for the 3-point.
Yeah, Coach. What do you, when you see that matchup? What are you seeing? You've had a chance to. We watched Lloyd up personal and had a chance to see how he plays. Obviously, you've been watching Michigan. What are some of the things, as people are watching, they should be paying attention to when they look at how these two teams play?
It's just going to be a fight.
Coach is like, there's no.
That's simple, yeah.
Yeah, it's just going to be a battle, and big on big, guards on guards. I think if there are any X factors, it'll come from the bench. I can't think of the one European player that plays for Arizona. He's kind of an X factor. He comes up and hits threes and gets points out of nowhere, and when you least expect it, he's all over the floor, and he can be a little bit of a difference. But they've got counterparts with Michigan, so yeah, man, it's just going to be a heavyweight fight, and I think if there's anything, and a lot of people pointing this out, is if they're not shooting threes well, because somehow or another Arizona hits threes when they need them.
Yeah.
They're not the greatest percentage, maybe. They don't shoot a lot of them, but they hit them when they need them. They got a crazy Australian that comes off the bench and thinks he's all world. And
Marco, yeah.
Yeah, Marco, yeah, he knocks shots down and you think, what the heck? That's why I say it's just going to be a heavyweight fight. It's going to be, a lot of people are dubbing it as a championship. I think that's kind of unfair to the other two teams, but all things considered, the best two teams in the country all year long are playing, in the Final Four. So it's just, like I said, it's just going to be a fight. Just have to sit down and put your seatbelt on and watch it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna. I think that you're right. It's, you're gonna look for people like, what does Gail do? What does some of these other players who have game experience? What do they offer in terms of that extra push in depth in the game? I think those are key in their ability to knock down shots and be there. So that's something else. And and can the point guards be controlled? I think that's the other piece. The point guards stir the drink so much. How will they have an impact on each other?
Yeah, how's a point guard? I hope he's all right too. He had that crazy allergic reaction, so I think he's fine. But still, that was concerning. Yeah, that Cadeau's a veteran, and to be sick like that and be delayed and going to Indy,
But they say he's there, ready to go. How these things happen on these sick games. Sometimes that's a game where you go for 30. It's just one of those things. It's always part of the storyline. But I think it'll be a good battle, and it's going to be nip and tuck. The other game with UConn in Illinois, well, that's a game of just two, I wouldn't say contrasting style, but it's going to be some different. Illinois got length, and they like to raise up and shoot them threes. UConn is like precision and methodical on offense. They run you through their stuff. They are going to lock it down on defense. Something's got to give. But do we have consistency sometimes with the stars showing up on both sides? When they show up, both teams are good. When they don't, the stars sometimes go into the witness protection program. And so that's going to be interesting to see. How does UConn come off of this incredible victory, right? And then resettle, they got plenty of time, but it's still, that's a buzz, right? especially given the history of those two programs, Duke and UConn, and what they mean in terms of this century about who's who, right? People fail to realize UConn UConn got the chips, right? UConn's been saying they the ones, and now they have an opportunity to say, everybody talking this Duke stuff, but we really the one. So to beat somebody like that is like one of your rivals on the big stage, and then you coming into this, a team that the last time you saw them in this point, you beat them down like you stole something. So, that game is going to be something else. And then Illinois, okay, we got to get some get back. So that was going to be an interesting game. Carl, you from that state of Illinois. The word on the street. That team. Everybody's been talking about how talented this team is. People didn't know if it could ever realize this talent. In this tournament, it has. What makes them special in a way that people should pay attention to?
I can tell it's the camaraderie. Really, it's a group that's come together quickly. But the Weigler kid, Stojakovic, the Isevich brothers coming together.
They got a lot of bitches.
They got a lot of Balkans. Yes. But bottom line, Wagler's really been the X factor. I think him coming on the scene, him blowing up and coming out of nowhere has been amazing. Because really he kind of was a late bloomer in college and got his offers late and grew a lot the last couple of years of high school. So, he's really been the glue as far as the guy who shoots the three, he's ball dominant, but again, helps the team as far as being a great decision maker. It's just Underwood is his best coaching job because, again, I thought he was always a great recruiter. I didn't think he was the best coach in the world, but now he's proved me wrong. Orlando Atuega, the guy who used to be with Kentucky. Yep. And so I think that they're a balanced team, really. But I just think UConn's a team of destiny right now, especially considering that a lot of people look at they came back, but bottom line, the three started clicking. That's what happened. When you shot three the way they shot, they were like one of like 20 or something, some crazy number before they got on. I mean, really, that's the three. So the three is so important, and so that's just not normal how they shot the first half. They were able to basically shoot and get back in the game. And I believe in Hurley. I mean, you saw Hurley schooled Shire. I think again, this is a team of destiny as far as getting to the final game. And I think UConn will win this one despite the odds and the betting odds, and also just I think pure talent too. I think Illinois is a more talented team. I think UConn's a more gritty team. I think grit's gonna win out in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, Stojakovic played like his daddy's name is Ginobili. It's like he get to the back. I'm like if you didn't know, it's like is it Stojakovic or Ginobili? He finds his way to the paint.
Yeah,
he can finish. It's just like wow, you are nothing like your daddy pays you. Like you are like you taking people off the dribble, dropping them off, and when he decides he gonna get to the rim, he gets there. And he's just been to watch him has been fun because he gives them a different, and it's good he's come off the bench because when you're playing them, they play from so much outside in that when he comes, he changes up the style in a way that and before you can control it, he already at the rim. He getting and ones. He's doing. I love the way he plays, and he's got this competitive spirit that I think is going to be interesting to see how. And he can guard. So
that's got guard with Coach Underwood. Yeah, they're really good defensive team.
So he don't start, but he finished. And
he started early part of the year. I think he got hurt, and they brought off the bench. It makes more sense. I think it makes sense to bring him off the bench. He's the sixth man, really leads that second unit. The guy really takes it to the rack. That second unit really sets the tone. It helps complement Wagler as far as the inside-outside standpoint. And so, he doesn't play like a dad. Dad was a straight-up shooter, just phenomenal gun, sniper. He can shoot too, but not, but he's taking it to the rack. He's mixing up in there. He playing like, he was born in America. His daddy might be born somewhere else, but he was born here and he played like it. Yeah, he played like he was on the playground.
He played
Sacramento.
Like that. He took him to the park. Like you ain't gonna learn playing in the gym. We're gonna take you to the park.
Interesting career too, with the fact he started off at Stanford and didn't do great and transferred to Cal, which is heresy, but it is what it is. You gotta do play really well at Cal, but then left there and then look at him now. He's at Illinois, really a great find to come off the bench.
Yeah. Cecil, like if you're Illinois, you're trying to beat UConn, like you're trying to get through. What does Illinois need to do to 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 get past UConn? What are some things they need to do?
Well, start out with just the usual statement is they just have to play their game.
Yeah.
The way they want to play and not worry a whole lot. Defend smart. Biggest thing for them with UConn is to be physical, because there are times where UConn can be a physical team, and there are times when they're not. Okay, when they got beat by Marquette beat up on them. Which was hard to see when Marquette's outsized and everything, but it was like UConn didn't feel like they could run anything or do anything because the Marquette players were bumping them off their cuts and being pretty physical with them. Now, UConn is very well capable of being a physical team, and they have been, and they particularly got physical with Duke in the second half. So, but Illinois is a physical team. They got those big dudes out there, and they like to bang. They like to go to the hoop. They'll score on contact, and so if the UConn that's national championship caliber shows up and plays a physical game like they do in the Big East, then they're probably gonna they may beat them. But that's going to be the big thing for Illinois. And Illinois, like I said, just to be who they are, stay with their character. Like Carl was saying, they seem to be a very close knit group. Really kind of care about each other, talk about each other that way, and that's the way Underwood's coaching them. And so they just got to stay within their character and then see if that's good enough for them to win. The other thing I'll say too, and this is where I think it's really important, is how Hurley gets them ready to play. I've never seen a team that's as responsive to the mentality of their coach as UConn, and how he's talking about it and how he's preparing the game and how he's preparing them to play will be huge, because he does have his finger on the pulse of his team, and they'll come out and play the way he directs them. So it'll be interesting to see, where his attitude is. And I don't like to pick on the guy, but sometimes he can be a little arrogant. Sometimes he can be a little, presumptuous about things, and his team picks up on that. And so it'll depend on if he's going to bring his lunch pail to work to the game like he should, especially playing Illinois, especially how physical they are, or what his mentality is going to be.
Yeah, it's like you can either give something energy or take it away, and there are points where he takes the energy away, where he is. I mean, we got a chance to watch him a little bit up close, where he's so preoccupied with other things. You can see it's taken away from his energy with his team. But when he's focused in and he's on, they respond to him. So I like that. Yeah, where he's directing his energy is going to be a good one. So when you think about the championship right now, you thinking UConn obviously on this side, or Illinois? Are you thinking Arizona, Michigan? Now that we're not in our brackets, we're in whatever we're watching right now. What are you thinking about right now?
I'm in my bracket too, but I'm in my bracket too. How about you? I'm in bracket too. No. I think Michigan's the best team, and they kind of showed just the way obliterated Tennessee was just embarrassing. And that Luxembourg kid is just a real deal. You see why he was getting reportedly, $7 million to go Kentucky and turned it down. So the kid he's just the most impactful player I've seen on a college level. And then look at the stats. The stats aren't gaudy, but just again the way his presence, bulk of him, just the way he moves defensively, offensively, just the way again he leads the team, almost can play like a point forward in a sense, but then mixed up inside. He's really he's the best player I think in college basketball this year. I think that's going to be the difference in this game is Luxembourg. I think he's clearly. I think I'd take him over anybody on all these four squads right now. I think that's going to be a difference. And Coach May, I believe in him. He's coming there. He's built culture. You talk about Roddy Gale as a special player who's a guy at Ohio State who came there and really learned the culture, really brought veteran culture. Cadeau, same thing, came from Carolina, brought veteran culture. Really a great cohesive team. And this is all with, again, people were really concerned about that loss with LJ Kaysen, but didn't matter as much. People stepped up, and I think Michigan, again, I see a Michigan-UConn final. I think Michigan's going to cut down the nets on Monday night.
Yeah, I got Michigan, and I think the McKinley. One of the things that
Trey McKinley,
they May talked to him about. He rapped out a role. He said, "This year, I'm going to have you coming off the bench. You're going to learn, and then keys are going to be going to you next year. He's grown in his role, and he knocks down shots. Everybody else can recover it, but it's almost like a wide receiver. You could put your best corner on the top, another receiver. If you got third receiver and you get in the backup corner, but you got first receiver skills, can you get off? And he's been getting off on those matchups, and I think he's going to be the key in this. When you need buckets, he just seems to be making buckets. He seems to be ready for the moment. He seems to be comfortable. I see that, but I think it's going to be a battle on that side. And with UConn, I think I feel like Illinois can get it. Something tells me there's something happening with them. But Hurley's got this thing going, and he got some kind of clover in his sock. But I think that thing gonna come to an end on Monday night.
Well, they're the most talented team. A pure talent, D. Wills. Illinois should win that game.
I think Illinois should win.
But you got guts and grit. With San Styles Demery coming off that ankle injury, and that Caravan kid is kind of extension of Hurley, extension of the coach, and really brings it. And then that Mullins kid, just the ice and water in his veins to shoot that three after he was terrible the whole game. The big kid. So the bottom line is that you've got a team that said that Illinois team I think is better, but I just think the UConn team is going to be grittier. I think that's going to be the key thing.
Coach, what's your thought about how the outcomes with these games now that you sit here on the eve of the Final Four and the championship?
Well,
I know you over
here. You and Henry got me thinking hard about Arizona, Michigan, because I've had Arizona the whole time. So I'm just going to ride with that. I'm just going to stay with Arizona. I just think they're deep. They can come at you a bunch of different ways. They defend. They show they got guts and ability to come back when they need to. And they're as deep a team as there is in the country for sure. Yeah. And they play a style of basketball that's just fun to watch. So as much as I'm with you on Luxembourg, he's a beast for sure. And they're going to have to figure out what to do with him, but it's still going to be size against size because they're not shrinking violets either, So it'll be an interesting war, but I'm going to stick with Arizona. I'm going to stick with UConn too. Again, I'm thinking more about, and after watching Illinois early on, again, Hammer, you had talked about how Illinois looked, and so I started watching them through the rest of trying to catch their games during the rest of the season. I was like, the what's it, Waxler or Hackler?
Wagler.
Wadler. Gee whiz. So I was like, where did he come from? And then what you saw as I watched them, they just got better and better and better through the season. But still didn't expect them to do what they did in the tournament. But I'm still going to go with UConn. I'm believing that Hurley's been here before. He can turn that championship mentality back on again. But even at that, I don't think it'll be enough to beat Arizona. I still think Arizona's going to walk away with it. Finally, after all these years, after 80-something years from Lute Olson, but that they're going to walk away with it this year.
Yeah, well, you talk about Wagler. I think he's the one player in the Final Four that can go to a level other than Yaxel, that can go to a space that other people might not be able to go to.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, I think he's the second most impactful player.
If he in that rhythm, he'll hit 40.
Oh yeah.
He'll hit 40, and they know you could do about it because every time you come out, he'll shoot farther out. Like you watch when he hit this year. I mean, he had games where you got to pick him up at the other free throw line. I feel and he started getting in that mix and his handles. He's the one, if he decides that he just done with all of this, that's what, because you can have a defensive plan and then I remember Marcus Flowers saying, and his brother Michael, who was like one of the best defensive players in the Big Ten in the country at the time, trying to guard Steph Curry. And there's a moment, babyface Steph. There's a moment where you realize defense. It ain't the issue that you ain't playing defense. It's just he decides to step out farther than you ever thought defense should be played. And so that's the one. Watching him, he's the one guy that if he decides he gonna get loose, he gonna be a straight up problem for anybody who face him. And he got so many shooters around him, you can't just decide you're gonna double him. That's the thing about Illinois. Like you just can't decide I'm gonna trap him and double him. Because then you got all these other scorers And if they get loose, there's some, as they always say with Chuck and them always say, when there's a fire, we got to do save the women and children. Like a fire, it's gonna be a 5-alarmer with Illinois. If he's a one person you got to watch, and if UConn better keep him under wraps, because if he get going.
They're gonna rough him. They're gonna rough him up. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna rough him up.
Yeah,
they're gonna rough him up on the wing. Yeah,
they have to commit too many resources to rough him up.
Yeah, they get fouls. They're in trouble.
Other guys who can shoot. Yeah, that's where Illinois start running you out the gym, because they got all them other shooters who like, I will gladly take this, and I'll pay you Tuesday for a 3 today. That he's the one person that I'm like, like I used to feel when Glenn was playing, when Glenn got going, it's like, if G Money get gun to everybody else, you better just save everybody, get out the house. It's over. And he got that feel. So we'll see. Well, I think you're right. We're looking forward. It's going to be a great weekend. Before we close, we got to give a shout out to the women. We got South Carolina and UConn. Woo. And on the other side, we got UCLA and Texas. Now, UCLA and Texas played each other earlier in the year. UCLA want to come in there. Betts is saying she's going to try and take over. I don't know. Texas got some ballers. And then, and then we got AZ and UConn in that team. And man, and can anybody stop that juggernaut? No. Coach, I know you've been watching a little bit. What's your thoughts about on the women's side in the Final Four? I can't even predict it. Woo! It's must be.
I can.
UConn all day.
It's going to be hard for people to beat UConn. UConn's got if you take all the 4 teams and you think who's the most complete team that has aspects of all the teams, it's UConn. They can guard bigs because they got bigs. Yeah. They got athletic bigs. Yeah. Okay. They can move and jump and they've got guards. They've got a big that's one of the most versatile players.
Yeah, strong. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, inside, outside, whatever you need. They've got shooters. They've got defenders, and they're deep. Yeah. You can run bodies at them, but they got as many or better bodies that come off the bench when you go to your bench. As much as, my heart is with South Carolina tonight, hoping that, maybe they can pull up. But I think UConn just has what he needs for this year. Now, next year, maybe people will come along and catch up with him, but I don't see how they're going to beat him. I think Texas, UCLA is going to be an interesting game. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that game because I want to see how now where Texas is, because Texas has improved a lot since they played UCLA before, and they really come on. And I want to see how I've watched them. They played really well. So I want to see how good what they do to UCLA. I think that would be an interesting game.
Texas was playing really, when they beat UCLA, it's like built on really good defense. Offense was still developing. Yep. Now they got that offensive continuity going. They got more people and they still playing defense. But I say UCLA's offensive continuity got even better because they ran so much through Betts. They got Kiki and some of these other folks that are coming on. So it's going to be that one right there. Woo, I don't even know. But I think on the South Carolina side, it's going to come down to how what Raven does defensively, because she's one of the best defensives. Can she play a role in helping to slow down AZ, but also get her offense? And then they got a couple of bigs who can defend. Can they slow down strong enough, play out in space? They got some bigs who are athletic enough to stay with her. And can you do it? And then let's get it tight down the stretch. That's going to what it's come down. Can your veteran guard who's got all that experience do what she do? The winner, the biggest winner in South Carolina, can she care? She's from this area. She's like my niece's little sister in basketball. So in this household, they all roll it for them. And so we'll have to figure that one out. So that South Carolina piece, I'm there, but it's hard to get that juggernaut. I'm with you, Cecil. I'm just like, man. Every time I watch, it's like she's doing her. What's made her better is she's always been a great shooter, but you got to think about how many injuries she's been through, and she's still getting off the dribble. She getting in her. She going 3 levels, and I'm thinking she can already shoot, but now she's doing 3 levels, and she doing it with authority. That's a tough thing to stop. So I'm with you on UConn. I think it's going to be UConn. I want to say UCLA, but I think it's going to be UConn, Texas. And at that point, it's going to be a heavyweight fight. You just get your popcorn and be ready, because I think the team that can match up best with UConn is Texas. I think they got the grit. I think they got what they need. They're ready right now. That'll be good. I can't tell you who's going to come out that one alive, but probably UConn.
Alive.
That's why they be battling. I'm telling you, the women's game, they be getting, it's like blood, sweat, and tears. I'm like, it's elbow to pain. I feel like I'm watching the old Pistons right now. I'm like, oh, y'all ain't no free foul, no free layups.
Yeah, they do foul.
They don't let you get nothing for free. You got to earn every bit. All right, Hammer, how you feel about it? You good with the?
Oh man, UConn all day, man. All day. UConn, UCLA, and UConn wins it. Yeah. So, but yeah, South Carolina give them a great battle, but saw part of the game, but definitely. And UConn, just some special Geno and talent. Just Coach said that they got every facet of the game, and so with that great coach, I just don't see how they get beat. But they can beat themselves. Right. They're gonna get beat. They beat themselves. That's it.
Well, gentlemen, we got a lot. We got some basketball to watch. It's good to connect with y'all. My man Darnell, hope you get well, brother. We'll see you on the other side. We'll find out who are gonna be the winners of both of our tournament challenges. Hopefully, we'll get them on the air here in the next week or so with us. Talk about their victory lap. If it's my sister, she's gonna be unbearable, but we got to just deal with it. She's a great person, but she just
I'm still in the mix. I'm still in the mix, so hopefully I can win.
I know we need Hammer. We need Hammer to come in. Hammer got to come in. Hammer got to come in and give it to him. I look at Hammer and say, Hammer's there. Hammer might save the day for us. Hammer, we're gonna need you, brother. We're gonna need you to save the day for us, because right now we need help. We need to block, because right now they just locking down all three prizes. We just need you to come in and take one off the table. You know,
I might do it, man.
Yeah, all right. That's what I'm hoping. Take one off the table. All right. Until next time, brothers. Thank you for everything, and everybody. We normally we got to give flowers out. We didn't give flowers. We can't leave out giving a hope. So anybody want to give flowers out real quick? We got to do that. We got to make sure we always got to leave positive.
I give flowers out. Yeah, I give flowers out to Tommy Lloyd. Turn down that money. The Fool's Gold in North Carolina. That's not as good a job as it used to be, and so. Especially with his challenges with the AD. AD didn't hire him, but they were able to work it out, and it's great that he did that. I mean, I think it was a specter over the game as far as him still in limbo as far as his deal goes, and so he's got a great deal. That's one thing, it was a smart deal where he didn't ask for all the money; he asked for enough to again keep the program whole, be able to invest in IL and keep the program at the elite level it is. And so turn down that Fool's Gold money. I still think. Billy Donovan, please leave Chicago and go to Chapel Hill. We'll go and pack your bags for you and do everything dry for you. But yeah, bottom line, seriously, is that no, Tommy Lloyd, like I said, a guy who was Fuse right-hand man for many years and finally got his own program and doing great things with it. So
All right. Coach, you got any flowers you want to give out?
Yeah, I'm gonna. These are personal flowers, and because I've only known this young lady by KD for years. She played basketball with my daughter at Northern Illinois. She's actually from Rockford originally, who is now the women administrator of athletics for University of Nebraska. But other than being my daughter's best friend for years and her confidant for years, she hooked it up for my daughter and my two granddaughters to go to Phoenix.
Wow.
For the Final Four, and she hooked them up with court passes and media passes, and so they've been sending me pics from the different venues they're in, and I just wanted to, it's not something Katie had to do, because some of it is on her dime, I'm sure, but the experience for my granddaughters to be down there at the Final Four. And my youngest granddaughter out there walking around in her Madison jersey is amazing. So my flowers go out to KD and for allowing that and for giving them the opportunity and memories of a lifetime. So
we love that, and that's what it is. How do you serve others and love on your friends and support them and everything like that? That's a beautiful thing. I've been traveling to and from and inside the airports and everything else. I want to give these flowers to our folks who work at TSA, who had to go through all this, and folks who are holding it down. And I
shout out to my cousin Alphonse Jr. TSA finally got paid. Praise the Lord.
All of us who had to travel, and for y'all who
didn't quit
in your service, we appreciate you and understand it, and glad that you are being recognized for your work. And so I want to make sure I said, as someone who had to benefit from your service, even through all of this, traveling a lot over the past 3 or 4 weeks. So thank you for everything you do. All right, we'll see you on the side. Enjoy the game this weekend, everybody. From my man Cecil, from Hammer and Devon, we say, hey, have a good time, enjoy, make sure you do something else for someone other than yourself. Peace.
It's a flex that had his mindset, ready for whatever grind next. My mindset, working with the time left, hard working, dedicated. Would like to dedicate this to those who never hate it. Can't nothing hold us down, can always go another round. Welcome to the underground, real sports.